Hi guys, and welcome to The Leap. Oh my goodness, we are so excited tonight to have a fabulous, wonderful, amazing guest. Her name is Tenisha Taylor Bell. She's absolutely exquisite, as you can see on the screen. She is the founder and president of Perfect Pitch Media Group. She's also an award-winning media executive and communication specialist. She served as an executive producer for 11 years at CNN, so you know she knows her stuff. But the most compelling part of her story is that she recently started a nonprofit 501c3 organization called the Ezekiel Taylor Scholarship Fund, and it is named after her father. And the purpose of the fund is to help young Black men who are quote unquote C students be able to achieve higher education. And she does all of this, and on top of that, she has time to actually be my mentor. Can you believe it? Guys, Tenisha Taylor Bell. Tenisha, thank you so much for being with us tonight on The Leap.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. So let's get started out the gate, because we know that you're going to have such great conversation for us tonight. Tell us about your work with Perfect Pitch Media Group, and also some of your work with the Ezekiel Taylor Scholarship Fund.
So Perfect Pitch Media Group is a public relations firm. It's also a media consulting firm in which I have clients here in Atlanta and across the country, and I consult with them on gaining media attention, getting the attention of the media for their stories, helping their stories being told. Our tagline is getting you the media coverage that you deserve. Yeah. And so I work with national and local media across the board, print and broadcast, making sure that my client stories are told. Most of them are organizations that I work with, and also consult with them when they're writing press releases and making sure that their press releases don't end up in the trash when they send them to the media, because I was once in the media and I threw a lot of those press releases in the trash. And I tell them why that I did that, and I use that insider knowledge to really help them garner the support that they are looking for. So it's been a great ride. It'll be 3 years in October.
Wow.
I've been on my own doing this, and I absolutely enjoy it. And that is what we do at Perfect Pitch Media Group. We also do media training as well. And so it's been a great way to just leverage my skills in the media industry with helping clients.
Wow. And so can you talk a little bit about your work with the Ezekiel Taylor Scholarship Fund? First of all, what is the genesis of this organization?
So I had this crazy idea to launch last year the Ezekiel Taylor Scholarship Foundation. And it is named after my father, Ezekiel Taylor, who was unfortunately innocently killed in Chicago by young people, young Black males, and a female was with him as well, and took his life away. He was innocently robbed of his life. I was innocently robbed of growing up with a father. And after watching so many reports last year, it was a really hard year for Chicago and really across this nation with gun violence. And it just really ripped on my heart all last year. And it happened before that. When I was at CNN, I was starting to write on it a lot at CNN.com. And I also was reporting on it a lot. And I kept reporting on the problem, but the problem was so close to home. It was my life. It was Chicago. My entire family was there. And it became hard to report on it and hard to watch it, because not only had my father been killed, but I had two really close friends who were great productive members of society, you know, college educated young Black men who were doing great things with their lives, who were innocently killed as well by basically being in the wrong place at the wrong time. So there's three really close tragedies that happened that made me say, what can I do? I can't keep talking about the problem. I can't keep writing about the problem or reporting on the problem unless I'm coming up with some solutions. And I kept getting this vision or this word, as I say, your inner spirit, God, as I like to refer to it as, telling me that I had to do something to do my part. And I kept hearing, to whom much is given, much is required. I didn't know what that meant. I kept praying and trying to figure out what that was. And I had to do something. And so I didn't quite know what it was. And it came into just a vision and just into helping young people. I love young people. My organization, my company, Perfect Pitch Media, is a hub for young people, for young interns to really get their feet wet. I'm also an adjunct professor as well at Kennesaw State University. So I have a love for young people. I have a heart for young people. I'm the big sister, I'm the mentor, I'm the mompreneur, as I call it. And so I found that to be my niche. And so it just all came, I had all the ingredients, right? I just had to put them in the pot to really make the cake. And so the cake came out to be the Ezekiel Taylor Scholarship Foundation. And so what we do is we are a 501c3. And what we do is we give funds to young men, it's for young men only, in the Chicago area who are looking to go to have a post-secondary education. And so what is unique about us is that we don't mind accepting, we're inclusive of the C student, maybe even the D student, right? Because they all have potential, they're all great. They just need someone to believe in them and to push them and to say that we care. And so that is what our foundation does. And so we're not excluding the A and B student, but we're including the C and D student. And so they can apply for funds. And what we do is we allow them to use the funds to either a trade school, they can want to go get a welding license, a barber license, a construction license. They can go to a 2-year college or a 4-year university. So it gives them a little room to really find their niche and be creative with what they want to do with their life. We just want them to do something and not just sit at home or be on the street corners or be available for the gangs to recruit them.
Yeah. That's pretty incredible. I mean, you just said some powerful things, coming up with solutions to do your part. I mean, so many of us see issues that speak to us or touch our heart, but we don't do anything about it. And I applaud you for actually taking the initiative to turn your mess into your message, so to speak, and transform lives. That's pretty incredible.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's pretty incredible.
And I know one of the things that we normally ask our guests is, what kind of challenges did you encounter? But you named like 4 things that.
Just 4? Just 4?
Like off the, right off the top, there were, at least about 4, your friends, 3 of your friends, and then the death of your father, like life-changing events that happened that seemed that these were kind of the catalysts for you coming up with a solution to help what was going on. So although you had this solution and the ingredients, were there any other challenges that you
absolutely. We had some today. Challenges come every day. Life is, I tell people all the time, life is, the 10% of what happens to you, but the 90% of how you respond to what happens to you. There are challenges every day. I tell people, I make, my Facebook page makes it look like, I have everything under control and everything is great and rosy.
It does.
It's just a highlight reel, right? But, today I had like 3 fires to put out, stressing, freaking out over some scholarship things that were going on behind the scenes. So there are always challenges. And if you think you're going to get through life without challenges, you're sadly mistaken. It's just how you process them, you accept them, you steamroll through them, you conquer them, right? And so there are always things that, whether, the website domain, something's not working, or whether, naysayers are saying, oh, Tenisha, you're doing too much, bring it down. I'm a real big thinker, I'm a big visionary, right? So I have all these visions and ideas, and you can't see my office, but I've got all these huge stickies, like, it looks like wallpaper in my office, but it's all my writings and strategies and visions on the wall. And it's great to have them, but if you don't have a good team of support that helps you see it through, there's no I in team. You can't do any of this by yourself. And so having the right people around you that support you and let you cry and be frustrated and vent and push you when you feel a little down, that all matters. And so while it looks great and you see it in the media and you see it on the website, there's a team of people that help the Scholarship Foundation, be what it is today. There's a team of people that help Perfect Pitch Media Group my organization, my company, be what it is today. And so they're always a challenge. I can name, 4 each day probably. Yeah, but it's okay. What doesn't break you makes you stronger.
Absolutely. I like that you mentioned that you have to have a team of supporters, because sometimes when people are getting ready to step out there, they're kind of debating on who is going to be in support of this dream, who is going to try to deter me.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that you mentioned that you need to have a good team of support to help fulfill this dream, I think that's priceless information for people that are wanting to move forward and take that leap, because you do need support. You need the people that's going to keep pushing you.
Absolutely. You need your own internal support, telling yourself, and self-validation is so important. But besides that, you need people really pushing you. I call them accountability partners.
Yes.
Accountability partners in your life, making sure you're making good decisions. And when you want to make that bad decision, trust me, you got to have those people to say, okay, you're crazy, right? Like, don't do that. And I have people who check me in my life and say, you're going to end up in Fulton County Jail. Stop it.
You need that.
And so, I want to, go off on somebody. They're like, nope, bring it down. So you have to have those people, more importantly, and identify everybody is not for you. And you'll have unlikely supporters. You'll have people in unlikely places supporting you. And then those who are closest to you, you'll be disappointed to find out those may not always be the ones who have your back. So be mindful and keep a close watch on who really and truly has your best interest at heart.
Yeah, I love that.
I do too. And Tenisha, something that you said that really struck out to me and just led to this conversation here was having the support of a team. And it was interesting because Tenisha and I, we met years ago. She probably doesn't fully remember, but we met years ago when her little boy was just this little tiny cherub, kind of round face. And she came into the newsroom, tiny. And she just kind of waved and walked out of the newsroom. And then I saw her maybe a year ago. Was it a year ago or a year and a half?
More than a year now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, more than a year now, like maybe a year and a half. And so she came in just so bubbly and full of energy, and she was handing out her business card, and I was like, oh, what is this? And I was just like, immediately I was like, I want to do this. Whatever she's doing. Because she was like so effervescent. And I actually cornered her because she was talking to another producer, and I like came up to her and I was like, I want to talk to you. I want to hang out with you and just pick your brain a little bit. But Tenisha, tell us the story, which is what really moved me out of my comfort zone it was one of the catalysts that moved me into the direction of actually starting my own business. Mm-hmm. Can you please share the story of what it took for you to leave CNN to actually start this incredible journey that you started?
It was hard. It was tough. CNN is a machine. It's a powerhouse. It's a global phenomenon, an international phenomenon, a force to be reckoned with, right? And to work there is an honor. To work there was just something I had aspired to do, and I did it. And it was like I climbed the ladder and I made it. And I had a great team of people that I mentored and that I was their manager. I had great anchors and reporters and producers, and it was a good run, but I always tell people everything happens in seasons, and you have to be comfortable with the season that you're in. And it was getting to a point where I wasn't comfortable in that season anymore. And when it becomes to a point where you're struggling to go to work, or work is not fun and it's not happy, and you're starting to become a person that you're really not. I know who God intended me to be. I know the characteristics that he gave me, the talents that he gave me, how I treat people. And, when you're always angry and upset and frustrated and it's not the right place or the right environment for you. And things were changing there. And so it was time to take the leap, and so I knew for a while it was time to take the leap. I actually was home on a maternity leave in 2011, and I started putting together the pieces to take the leap. And I bought the domain for Perfect Pitch Media Group. I started thinking through what would it look like. I started talking about visions and goals and writing things down in notebooks and talking to people. And it was all done quietly. And I did it for years. And when you think about it, it took me 3.5 years to take the leap, because I bought the domain in 2011 and started the vision for it. But I did not leave CNN until October 2014. So that is 3.5 years. So sometimes people want to leap and jump and they have nothing to jump to. And then they fall flat on their faces because they didn't plan properly. And I'm a big planner. I'm a producer, right? So I'm a big planner, a big strategizer, right? And so everything had to be, in place as well to make sure that when I take this leap, I had something to, catch me or fall, whether it's a nice, savings account, whether it was clients that would support me, family to support me, whether it's whatever it was, I wanted to make sure that it's something that I could do and try, because I didn't want to go through life and didn't try to be that entrepreneur, didn't try to take that risk, didn't try to walk that line. And if I didn't do it now, I figured when is a better time to do it,
Absolutely.
And so I did. I took the leap. And it's been almost 3 years. And I always said, if it didn't work, you just go back to something else. You go back to corporate America, you make it work. But so far, so good.
It's working out if you're winning friends and influencing people. So, it can't be that bad.
So, I mean, that just what you said in terms of, making sure that you have the plan. When you said that you bought the domain name and then you didn't end up actually leaving for years later. I mean, sometimes we get in that place where, something is dropped in our spirit and sometimes we get afraid to move. Mm-hmm. But when you take that leap of faith, and whether it's buying a domain name or starting a business plan, that's all a part of the process.
Yeah, absolutely.
And once we start that process, we kind of get that ball moving, and we're putting it out there in the universe, letting God know, okay, I hear you, I'm ready to move forward. So that's all a part of the journey. So I love that you included that piece, because sometimes, like you said, we want to just go and jump. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But you do have to put some things in place. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love that. So even though you did all of those things, right, and the business is doing well, what would you tell people in terms of pitfalls that they may encounter along the way? Because I know they come.
Oh, every day.
It's kind of like those challenges, but sometimes people can get hung up and feel like as soon as they encounter a barrier, maybe this wasn't the right way to go.
Yeah, you can't be so easily falter to give up. I don't give up easily. They call me Tenacious Tanisha for no reason. I mean, for a huge reason, right? Because I am going to keep going. You can tell me no 10 times, 8 different ways in 10 different languages, and I'm still coming back. But I think that pitfalls from the business side, from Perfect Pitch Media Group, having you have to know what you know and know what you don't know. Yes. And what you don't know, make sure you surround yourself with people who know it. And so I try to do a good job of surrounding myself with people who know what I don't know. When I first started, I wasn't really huge in social media, didn't really care much for social media. So I surrounded myself with social media people that I contracted to help me in this area. And now it's all I do all day long, put the phone down. So, it's Twitter, Instagram, it's Periscope, it's all these great things. I think the other thing is, a pitfall could be sometimes self-doubt, your own self-doubt, because you'll talk yourself out of something. Don't talk yourself out of it. Just keep going and pray that you're going in the right direction and you're having the guidance that you need to survive and to thrive and to impact others. From a business standpoint, things like, I'm not by trade, I'm not a bill collector. I'm just not, but who collects my invoices? Who makes sure that I'm being paid? Those things are hard if you don't have people in place or parameters in place. You can mess up, and I have lost several thousands of dollars just by not having the right parameters in place when it comes to people who are default in their bills and collecting those invoices. And it takes more time to sue and more money to sue to get your money. So you kind of just lose it. And so you think about all of the money that you've lost because you didn't have the right parameters in place to collect And then it also taught me, you know, like get your 50%, you know, up front, or your 25% up front, and, you know, don't breathe until they make a deposit, you know. So you learn all those things along the way, because I try to believe that the best in people and good in people, that you provide a good service, you provide quality work, that they'll honor their contract or their word, and pay on time. That doesn't always happen, unfortunately. And as entrepreneurs, we all know that that's the hard part. I hear people all the time complain in the entrepreneurial world that people try to get discounts and hookups and all of that. And I tell people all the time when they come to me, you know, if you're going to come to Nordstrom, be ready to pay Nordstrom prices.
I know.
You wouldn't come to Nordstrom and see a blouse for $200 and say, oh, well, can I give you $75?
Right.
So wouldn't go for that. So if you want to pay $75, then you should go to Macy's. Or if you want to pay $15, maybe you should go to Target. You know, go where your budget allows. And I'm not offended by that, but I'll tell you, like, there is not much wiggle room, because I know my price point. You know, I know my net worth, and I know what the quality that I give you, and I know what I bring to the table. And so if that's not something for your budget, then it's okay if you go somewhere else, and that's fine by me. But this is Nordstrom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. That's powerful. Know your net worth.
Yes.
Know your net worth. Because I think sometimes when we step out into this faith area, I know myself included, you're kind of in the beginning willing to just do anything.
Yes.
But in the meantime, that doesn't mean that you can't put a value on what you're capable of doing.
Absolutely. And you have to learn to say no, because in the beginning you do, because you just want the business. You want to build your business, build the brand, build the name, and you want money coming in, because you're not sure like when the money will run out. And I am to the point now, 3 years in, just this past week alone, it's Thursday, I've turned down 2 people who reached out to me to be my client. And it feels good to be able to say no for whatever reason, you know, for timing, or they're not a good fit, or whatever the case may be. It's good to have options. And I feel mature enough so far and confident enough so far to give a no and not feel guilty for the no. Even if they're getting ready to write a check, and, you know, all money is not good money. We know that.
Yeah.
Right? And so I'm okay with that. So I've given 2 no's this week. Sometimes I give more no's than yeses, you know, and I'm okay with that. And I feel good with it. It's all right with me.
Wow. So we're getting ready to wind down our conversation, Tenisha. It's been so good. But before we go, if there was someone who is sitting on the fence of their life, and they're trying to figure out, should I stay, should I go, or should I take the leap? What would be the one thing that you would say to them right now?
Have you ever had this? You always say, oh, my first mind said this. My first mind, or my gut told me. People say that all the time. My gut told me, or I had the instinct, and my first mind. That is God, okay? And I don't know why we want to dress it up as other stuff, right? Oh, something told me. No, God told you, you know. Oh, I had a hunch. That was Jesus talking to you, you know, whatever the case. Listen to that inner spirit, that inner being that tells you what it is, that first time, you know, whatever it is, that first time. And you may not have to act on the leap right now. Like I told you, it took me 3.5 years, but just know it's time to leap. Right. You know it, you believe it. You could leap to take a new job. You could leap to leave a job. You could leap to start a new business. You can leap to leave a marriage that you know you shouldn't be in. Yes. You could leap to leave a boyfriend that you know you shouldn't be with. You know, plan it out. And I make sure you can afford to get the apartment, you know, so you can borrow no money. But plan your leap, you know, plan it and have confidence in it and walk in faith and know it and to believe that, you know, you are a child of the Most High. You are a product of the Most High. You know, He has plans for you to prosper you, you know, and to not harm you. And that's what I believe. That's what I tell myself every night. I tell myself every morning, I'm brushing my teeth. He has plans to prosper me and not harm me.
That's right.
I know that, you know, things that He will provide for me. I may not know everything, but I'm not worried or there are times I get down and think like, oh my goodness, but you know, I have to check myself. You know, I give myself a little 20-minute check and pull it and snap back and get it back together. But I would tell that person to really think about, you know, life is short. It's really short. People are unfortunately dying much early with, you know, in their 40s and 50s from all kind of ailments and things that are happening, unfortunately. Do not look back and have regrets and say, I wish I coulda, shoulda. You know, let's not do that. Just take the leap and just go and enjoy life. And if it doesn't work, so what? You know, I'd rather jump and fail. You know, I'd rather leap and not work than not leap at all.
Absolutely.
You know, it's I saw us saying, you know, something about, you know, I'd rather live dangerously free than peaceful in slavery.
Woo.
Mm-hmm.
That says a lot.
If I was a DJ, I would have replayed that.
Yeah. I'd rather live dangerously free than peaceful in slavery. You know, and so I think I'm living dangerously free.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And doing well with it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you were able to come on and share with us. I know that your message has blessed someone. It's blessed me because not only are you out there, you know, you're working in your area, in your profession, but you're also reaching back and giving back to the community and making something positive out of something unfortunate. So, you know, I'm thankful to you for that. I mean, I have family in Chicago and I know it's hard. It's hard. So, but that's excellent.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So Tenisha, before we go, we always want to give our guests an opportunity to let our followers know how to touch them, how to reach out to them.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you.
So how can we reach you first and foremost for your work with Perfect Pitch Media Group?
So Perfect Pitch Media Group is right on the web, www.perfectpitchmediagroup.com. You can reach out to me. It comes right to my phone and or to my laptop here, and someone from my team will get in touch with you. So we're right on the web. It's easy. It's just the name of our company, perfectpitchmediagroup.com. I'm also on Twitter at Tenisha, spelled Tenisha T Bell, at Tenisha T Bell on Twitter and Instagram. And then for the Scholarship Foundation, that website is eztaylor.org. eztaylor.org. And that is also on Twitter as well at eztaylorfdn, as in the abbreviation for foundation. So eztaylorfdn.
Absolutely fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Okay, so Tenisha, thank you so much for just taking time away from your busy schedule to just share your journey with us and to be a blessing to our followers. I know that there are people out there that are going to be blessed by your word.
I hope so.
And we wish you so much luck and blessings in every single thing you do, because you have a heart of gold, and the Lord blesses those who bless others.
Yes, he does. He does.
Okay.
Thank you, ladies, so much. Keep up the great work with The Leap.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
So until next time, guys, leap forward, leap forward, leap forward now.